FinTech Nation, it is day 17 of the challenge. Your macros are sent out today, and I'll have the Calendly link up tomorrow for you to book your scans for this weekend. Second round of scans. First mini goal. Okay, I'm gonna apologize to this person. They asked me about this sweetener, which was like a week ago. Kathy, I know you put this up, so I apologize to you. You want to know about erythritol and then monk fruit, this sweetener. So erythritol is a very low-calorie, alcohol-based sweetener that's artificially produced, and then monk fruit is obviously a natural extract from monk fruit. It's also got I think a Mandarin, it's a Chinese name, which I cannot pronounce, so I won't pronounce it. But it's an extract that's about, it's like 100 or 200 times sweeter than sugar. Erythritol is about 70% as sweet as sugar. So monk fruit's also very expensive. So I suspect that the sweetener that you have is probably mainly erythritol. It's going to be much cheaper. So you just need to be careful with that one, because with the alcohol sugars, even though they're very calorie sparse or very low in calories, I think erythritol is somewhere around, it's like 1/4 of a calorie per gram. It's very, very low. But you need to be careful, because part of it gets, or a lot of it doesn't get passed through the small intestine, and it goes to the large intestine, and basically, you know, it gets fermented. But it can, if you get enough there, then it can cause, you know, a lot of intestinal distress and potentially diarrhea. So now you have to use quite a bit of it. So I'm sure you're probably just using a little bit, which is probably fine. Okay. So, but I suspect that it's more of a marketing thing with the monk fruit, just because I know monk fruit's very, very expensive. So I highly doubt that's what it is, right? They probably put that up there on the packaging just to, you know, as a marketing type thing. Okay, so just be careful with the amount of this that you use. That's all I'm going to say. All right. This goes for all alcohol sugars. Alcohol sugars are anywhere from about 0 to 3 calories per gram. Okay, just depends on the type of alcohol sugar. Erythritol obviously follows quite low on that scale. All right, somebody had asked me about, this is some time ago as well, somebody asked me about Progressive Vega Greens. A good product or not? I've used this product before. It seems to be quite good. I'm not really sure. I do actually take, this is one by Magnum, Performance Greens. So I take this one. It's got a decent taste. It's loaded with a bunch of nutraceuticals and vegetable and fruit extract as well. Yeah, I take it. I take 3 scoops a day. Is it necessary? There's no data on it, really. I don't know of any data. I haven't done any thorough looking around for data for this as to whether it really makes a difference or not. I don't really know how you would measure a difference. You'd probably have to do like a long trial. But for me, it's kind of like a multivitamin mineral. It's sort of like, oh, I'm just going to take it just to be, you know, on the safe side. So, but regardless, it's got a lot of good stuff in there. So, you know, I can't see any harm with it, and I can, you know, really only see probably some good things come about with it. So, yeah, I would definitely suggest taking it. In terms of the Progressive line, I think it's probably a good product. I don't believe it's pharmaceutical grade, but Progressive is from what I know, Progressive is a pretty reliable line. It's got a good reputation, so I think it's probably an okay product. If you do want to try this one, just let me know. I can bring you some. You can give it a shot. All right. I still have more questions to get to from last week, and of course you are sending me your feedback, right? So I'll get to more of those questions too. But let's get to the message of the day, and this is so true. This is so true. Every meal is a short-term investment in how you feel, a midterm investment in how you look, and a long-term investment from your freedom from disease. Okay? And that's probably the most important aspect of eating well. But, you know, good food, the more I kind of think about it, it's really hard to find good food. Like, it seems like so much of our food is being manipulated one way or another. So, you know, I mean, we can only do our very best, right? But I'm still going to preach real whole food, of course, as always. Certainly that's much better than a lot of these convenience foods, these prepackaged foods, you know, and especially the obvious stuff like junk food, right? This is all, in the grand scheme of time, a lot of what we eat, or a lot of what North American society eats, is all new to us. It's like, you know, like our genetic lineage is not used to this type of food, right? So, you know, it's, you know, while it may not be, there may not be any direct evidence to show this right now, but, you know, I do believe that this is linked to, you know, potentially a lot of the diseases that are out there. Okay, surely we do know that it's linked to things like the obvious stuff, right? Like the chronic lifestyle-based diseases like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, you know, poor blood lipid levels, inflammatory markers in the bloodstream, this type of thing. So we know that we can see pretty much a cause and effect with that. But for things like cancer and, you know, heart disease, well, maybe heart disease, you know, maybe more so, but definitely with cancer, we're not sure, right? So these are all things that we want to think about. You know, I was listening to stats the other day, some stats on the death rates for different things, and it's almost 1 out of every 3 people die from cancer. 1 out of every 3. That is crazy. 1 out of every 3 is going to die from cancer. So, you know, I think food is just one thing. I mean, we ingest it, so, you know, choose wisely is my message to you. And I really do think that part of that is choosing real whole food. Okay? All right, so I'll say it one more time. Every meal is a short-term investment in how you feel, a midterm investment in how you look, and a long-term investment from your freedom of disease. I will say this too. How a food makes you feel is very important, even if it's a whole food. There are whole foods out there that don't agree with people. So just be aware of that. How do things make you feel? Okay? I know I have a gluten sensitivity. That means it doesn't mean I can't have any gluten, but I do have to be careful with that. Okay? Now, generally, you're not going to find gluten in real whole food, but there are some good breads out there that do have gluten. So, you know, you need to be really aware of how things make you feel, okay? Another example is when I would eat raw oatmeal, okay? Now, I wouldn't eat it raw, but I would eat it with like I would just pour some water in it or something, or like I'd eat it as cereal. So I'd dry oatmeal and then pour protein powder and like some almond milk and eat it like cereal. Didn't do well for my gut and the way I felt. So, you know, but it's oatmeal, right? So we need to be aware of these things, how things are prepared, and you know what exactly, and how they exactly make us feel. Okay, so keep that in mind. Positive energy, positive vibes. Believe in yourself. Don't forget to submit to this. Don't forget to submit and commit to this challenge. And as always, believe in yourself. You have no good reason not to. Keep progressing, try to improve, do your very best, and I will talk to you guys all very soon. When I put the Calendly link up, I will put a message into Slack and let you know, okay? So you can expect that tomorrow for it's the calendar for your scans, your upcoming scans, your second scans, okay? We'll talk to you guys all very soon. See you guys.